This podcast is brought to you by all of our Anime Addicts community out there, and if you want to join the ranks of the Anime Addicts and get our 8 exclusive podcast episodes per month just for our supporters, you can go to aaapodcast.com/join or patreon.com, of course, and throw us a couple bones. You're going to get our hobby addicts, you're going to get our after parties and our hentai episodes, just an unending stream of entertainment, and I should probably note like a 900 episode backlog of those episodes, so you're basically getting unlimited entertainment for just a few dollars. So again, at aaapodcast.com/join or Patreon. And now, time to start the show. Welcome to the 13th annual Anime Oscars, where we reveal the best and brightest from 2022, all that anime has to offer. I am your host, Mitsugi, and I'm joined by the Anime Addicts themselves. We have Caroline. She's looking very dashing. How are you, Caroline?
Hello. I'm good. I am just so happy to be on the red carpet of today's event. How exciting is it that we have the Anime Oscars once again?
You look beautiful today, I must say.
Thank you.
Wearing red lipstick to match the carpet.
Oh, yeah. I just had to bring it out for today.
And we also have very handsome in his bow tie. He has never looked more handsome. His name is Mason. How are you doing?
Oh, hello. I've been working my queen wave. Hello, everybody. I'm doing well. I feel like I feel naked without the suspenders, but I'm doing okay. Feels good to have the bow tie back on.
Where are the suspenders?
Not on, because they would inhibit my rage-filled reactions to these results that we're about to go through.
Rage-filled.
Rage-filled.
And of course, I am here as well, Mitsugi. I have, in typical drunk Japanese man izakaya fashion, I have my tie around my head because I am rarely ever serious. And why should today be any different? Well, guys, 2022 was I think a pretty good year for anime, and we're going to talk about it here. We have 15 awards to go through, and we'll be giving you our commentary on all of the winners, which are going to incite lots of rage from Mason, apparently. And
of course. Well, I mean, what else do you expect?
I don't know. I just can't wait to see which awards get you the most fired up. Well, how did you guys feel about 2022 in general? Do you have specific thoughts that you want to share, or maybe not?
I mean, it was a pretty good year. A lot of hyped shows came out, Chainsaw Man being one of them, so we expect to see a good showing from there. There were also some underground hits, like your boy Kong Ming. That was great. Akiba Maid Wars was a surprise as well. Then you got things that really took the world by storm, like Bochi, and Kaguya came out with their 3rd season. So just a lot of great stuff in 2022. But then we also have some shows from 2021 that finished in 2022, like Ranking of Kings, which will finally get an appearance in our awards this year since it finished in 2022. So I am excited to get to some of the categories and see what came out best of the best.
I thought 2022 was looking really rough. This was a difficult year to get through. Season after season just failed to deliver, but then we were graced with a unbelievably stacked fall. And I think at the very end, it came through with a lot of winners that really won me over. So, yeah, by the end, I think I'll look back on 2022 fondly, but very, very specific parts of it.
Let's see. Fall. Bleach came out in fall. Bochi the Rock, Mob Psycho 100, Chainsaw Man, The Eminence in Shadow, Spy Family, My Hero Season 6. That is a pretty strong list. You know what I love is when you get a new original that's or like a title that people aren't familiar with yet, that takes off. And when I say that, I think of like My Dressed Up Darling came out of nowhere and was like a huge hit.
Well, I wouldn't say that it came out of nowhere. It had a pretty
Well,
decent manga following.
but a lot of people don't read the mangas, so they. I just mean when a new anime title comes out, it doesn't have to be a fully original title, but like Dressed Up Darling, like I hadn't read the manga, so that was pleasantly surprising. Ranking of Kings came out of sort of nowhere and was really good. Spy Family, although a well-known manga, was introduced to anime. We had stuff like Ya Boy Kong Ming. Ya Boy.
Ya boy.
See, I feel like Kong Ming would wear a tie around his head, and I feel like he would. He probably did at some point in that anime. Summertime Render. Actually, the spring season was pretty solid too. I mean, Kaguya was in there. Kingdom, which never gets nominated for anything, but like is continuously apparently awesome. I need to give Kingdom another shot because, oh my goodness, season 4 of Kingdom's got an 8.8 on here. That's pretty like ridiculous. And season 3 has an 8.8. Jeez, crazy shit. Have you guys watched any Kingdom?
No. Oh man, we've been spouting out so many anime that I've been forgetting about my jelly beans.
Oh, here we go. The jelly beans.
A lot of jelly beans eaten in the last year. We are nearing the end of that, although I don't think we should bring it back, to be honest, because it causes some recording issues that, honestly, it can be shelved, I think.
And potential dental problems.
That too.
For Caroline's health. And although you're keeping...
And yours.
You say and mine as well?
Yeah.
What does that have to do with me? Oh, the editing?
Because you have to edit it.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we don't need to go on and on and on about the year. We're going to talk about it as we go. The way that we do the Anime Oscars is basically a panel of other podcasts is recruited. Usually I ask like 15 to 20 of them because most of them don't respond. So really the ones that care a lot, the ones that you really should be listening to, are the ones that respond. So I'm going to read these off because these are the anime podcasts that I recommend you go give your time to go check them out because they helped us out by making the starting nomination list for each category. So we had our friend BCom, his Nerddom and Other Nonsense weighed in. My Anime Podcast, Anime World Order weighed in. Like one of the only anime podcasts older than we are. Maybe the only one that's... Consenshu is pretty old, but like other than those, maybe we might be the oldest. The r/anime podcast, Annievision, who's also pretty old and a good friend of ours, and Anime Junkies, 3 weebs and a podcast. They weighed in, and I kind of want to have the Anime Junkies on as guests, to be honest. So I may reach out to them sometime soon because very fun name, 3 weebs and a podcast. So go check those out.
But also, we can give a shout out to our Discord contributor. Well, contributors, I guess. It was supposed to be just, Raggedy Doctor, but he brought in some of his fellow Discorders, and they had a discussion on what they would like to nominate. So that was good that we had some Discord representation. So thank you to all who helped out with that. And yeah, we can see who had the best nominations, basically.
Yeah. So I'll read them again. Nerddom and Other Nonsense, My Anime Podcast, Anime World Order, r/anime podcast, Annievision, and Anime Junkies. So go check those guys out. They did take the time, and we appreciate it, of course. We have a lot of categories here. Do you guys want to get started with the awards?
Oh, yes.
Indeed.
All right, they're ushering into the concert hall now. So Jack Nicholson's drunk. I don't even
Why
know
is Jack Nicholson here?
I don't know. He's always there. He in between Laker games, he shows up for the Anime Awards, I guess. So we do have 15 categories here. We're gonna go through them, and we'll discuss the results as we go and see how angry they make Mason. I'm going to announce the. I think Mason's camera's frozen.
Mason. Ah, there he is.
We're back, baby.
All right, so we're going to go through these awards, and we're going to announce the winners. I'm going to announce the runner-up as well, and then we're going to talk about how angry they make Mason. So the first category of the night, we get through like sort of the aesthetic stuff first. Best animation. So a lot of nominees in every category here, and I'm going to read them all off for you. So nominated for Best Animation, we have Akebi's Sailor Uniform. We have Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, Demon Slayer Season 2, Do It Yourself, there's a lot of these, Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, Ranking of Kings, and Summertime Render. And the winner of Best Animation is Demon Slayer Season 2. With 24.3% of the total vote. The runner-up was Cyberpunk Edgerunners, right behind at 19.4%. So, how do you guys feel about this? Are you happy with the result? Was it a foregone conclusion the whole time?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not
just
surprised.
disappointed.
As am I. I do think Cyberpunk Edgerunners would have. I think it definitely deserved some of that recognition. It looked great. It was a great action. So I think the animation there probably, I feel like it was deserving of the winning place.
Yeah.
There's also a certain style and life to Cyberpunk. Like, an explosion by Studio Trigger often has more characterization than most other shows. Like, most other characters in other shows. Like, there's just so much life and vitality that they breathe into their stuff. And I love how it looks. I would probably give this to Bocchi the Rock or maybe Mob Psycho. I think the creativity on display did more to impress me than Demon Slayer, which, yes, looked really good in the fight scenes, in the in-between frames. Like, there is just a slickness to Ufotable's work that just visually looks pleasing, but I don't think it was good as past seasons. There's some real sloppy CG use in there, and it just felt stiff, especially in the character side of things. Like, it was fine. It looks good enough, but to call it best animation is but it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad.
But what about the jiggle physics on Nezuko? Come on.
It wasn't jiggle physics. It was all like super stiff and like weird CG like cloth fabric stuff. It looked really flashy and made me go, pretty colors. Look at his water breathing technique. But that's the appeal of it. And a lot of people watched it and a lot of people liked it. And it's known for being good looking, and people say, yeah, it does look good. It's probably best animation. And I don't hate it for what it is. It's a fine show. But man.
Yeah. And
man, do I wish
Demon Slayer, for me, I can definitely see why people would vote for it. But there's also an element of the fact that it is a sequel. And I always like to see what is new and exciting with things like animation. Like, did they do something new? And obviously, for animation, you're not really going to do anything new. It's not going to be much different from your first season, of course. But since Cyberpunk Edgerunners is new, and for me personally, I would have voted for it because it just had that, that secret sauce and something that hasn't been seen yet, technically, because Cyberpunk Edgerunners is new. So for that reason, I probably would not have voted for Demon Slayer over some of the other nominees in this group.
Man, we're a bunch of haters.
Well, yeah, I know. People are going to hate us.
It's a given that Demon Slayer looks great. I just think that Cyberpunk Edgerunners had a unique style that I appreciated, in addition to looking good. I don't think there were other things about that anime that I would criticize, but the animation wouldn't be one of those. So, but I think probably the vast majority was Chainsaw Man in this category? I feel like everything was. Chainsaw Man was, but
yeah, only 12% of the vote. So was that in second place? Or third place.
But
Chainsaw Man was in fifth place.
Regardless,
really?
the Demon Slayer was probably the most watched anime in this pile, and so
Bleach was number 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they have it like out of order on this.
Pie chart.
Pie chart that we have.
All right, why don't we move on? What do you think?
All
I
right,
think
let's get into
so.
the next
Enough,
category.
enough bad takes from us.
Nothing but bad takes.
Nothing but, indeed. Well, that's why we don't do this. We let the listeners decide.
That's right.
Well, let's get into the next category, which honestly is one of my favorites, Best OP. Now let's go through some of the nominees. We have Akiba Maid War, Bastard, Chainsaw Man, Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, Ranking of Kings Opening 2, Spy X Family Opening 1, and Ya Boy Kongming.
Yeah,
And
boy.
the winner, or sorry, let's have do we do the runner-up first?
I did the
Nah,
winner
just
first.
say the winner.
Okay, winner was Chainsaw Man with 36.7% of the vote. It was a pretty sick OP, I gotta say. It was great.
And now give the runner up.
Yes, runner-up was Ya Boy Kongming with 20.8% of the vote, which, I mean, we all have like a special place in our hearts for Ya Boy Kongming, so I am kind of sad it didn't win, but Chainsaw Man, I can understand why.
Can't believe 79% of you don't like fun.
Well, we know what Mason wanted to win.
I actually didn't want either of these to win.
Oh.
What did you want to win?
I think my favorite was Mob Psycho Season 3.
I actually haven't seen that OP yet, because I have not
While
watched Season 3 yet.
It's funny because I think Chainsaw Man was super dense with stuff. Like there were so many references to the show, the manga, the film, what was to come. It was just really busy. I liked how your boy took an almost opposite approach of, haha, let's put in funny dance with catchy song. And like that's it. It was so simple. I like how both of those did really well, and I do somewhat enjoy both of them. I don't like Kenshi Yonezu's work on this Chainsaw Man OP as much as his other OPs, but the Mob Psycho OP, I am with Caroline. I like seeing new stuff win that innovates, but the way that it just upgraded from an already great season 1 with 99, then season 2 with 99.9, and then came out with an even better OP, like it just continued to raise its own bar, and
It
there's
has a
so many
theme.
moments that just got me.
Yeah. I personally, I had nominated Spy X Family the first opening because I just think the style of it is just so fun, and I'm surprised that it doesn't get as much hype as the second opening, to be honest, and even amongst, of course, the voting here.
I personally didn't really care. I usually skip them anyway. To be honest,
And I'm
with you,
surprised that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you have to say. See, beauty before age. Okay.
Thank you. But
Your
I'm
flip.
surprised that Akiba Maid War did not get as much votes. It got 4.2% of the votes.
I think that's
But
about right.
It was a great opening.
It was a great opening for that show, but for how few people I think watch that show, and it was, like the show itself, very extra and excessive, which I enjoyed. I think it was very fitting, but I don't think it was memorable in some of the imagery and musicality. Like, I remember what it is because you're like listened to it so recently for our latest review, with them like saying like, Gochiso Sama Desha, like inviting the masters in. But I think a year from now, it's not going to live rent free in my head the same way that Kongming or Chainsaw Man or Mob Psycho will. But Spy's Family, Ranking of Kings, like they were all really good OPs as well. So I'm okay with it.
I'm not a big fan when they make an OP for the anime. So by that I mean I prefer they take like a band's song and then, make an OP that fits the song. When they're literally like saying the name of the anime in the song, or they are saying Gochiso Sama Deshita or whatever, Irasha Amase, whatever they said in that Maid War opening, it just feels kind of like corny, I guess, to me. So
Interesting.
I'm not a big fan of that, and it happens quite a lot. So
I get it. You're looking for music that you want to listen outside of watching the anime, but it's so fitting. It just works so well when you're watching the show, not having it on your playlist.
The only time I ever listen to music is usually in the gym, and it's almost always Sonic the Hedgehog music. So I think I'm beyond hope, to be honest with you.
So take
Yeah, sounds
any of
like it.
Mitsugi's opinions on music
Yeah.
very questionably.
Yeah, unless it's classical music. How about the best ED?
The best ED, the counterpart to OP, is the one that most people skip. We got a lot of good answers here. The options are Akebi-chan Sailor Uniform ED2, Attack on Titan: The Final Season Part 2, Call of the Night, Chainsaw Man ED3, which is the Maximum the Hormone one. I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss, Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 3, and Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun. And your winner for the best ED of 2022 is Call of the Night.
Fucking
It's a
good
bop.
song.
It's such a, I'm gonna say it. Are you ready?
Mhm,
What?
Do it.
It's such a vibe.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say bop.
Narrowly
Vibes.
beating out Chainsaw Man ED3. I'm fine with these results. I really liked Call of the Night's just whole aesthetic sensibility, and I think the ED blended well into it. It was seamless in a way. I do want to give some love though for Chainsaw Man, not only for having a great ending song for the third episode, but almost all of those endings were
Yeah.
really solid. And like as a collective, I feel like Chainsaw Man had the best ED because they had so many quality ones in there. But I'm happy with this. I'm happy with all of this. Good job, people.
And
Um,
big props to
yeah.
a KB Sailor Uniform with a whopping 1.4% of the vote.
Is that
Very
we'll find
fantastic.
out. That's almost the lowest you could possibly get.
That's pretty much
Yeah,
as,
that's a little
yeah.
sad.
I'm gonna keep an eye out if anyone like got shut out completely. But,
I think
we'll see.
in like third from the bottom was I'm the Villainess, so I'm Taming the Final Boss. That was my nomination. But it's a good ED. I'm not saying it's the best ED, but it certainly deserves a lot of attention because it is a good song and the visuals. I really love it. But what I personally probably would have voted for over it would have been Attack on Titan: The Final Season Part 2 because it's
Oh,
the
gee, who would
song.
have guessed?
The song is okay. This has nothing to do with the show
Oh, yeah.
itself. This is
Uh-huh.
all about the
Uh-huh.
song and the visuals.
Mhm.
And I have listened to this song 100 times. It is that good.
Well. Okay.
Believe it.
So
Believe it.
I actually think I think the right one, or the right anime one. This one, I love the rap section in that song is just so good.
Yeah, I have no
It has-
complaints about that one.
It feels a little to me like the Jujutsu Kaisen ending, I guess it was, by whatever the hell that band was that got in trouble.
Oh, Ali.
Yeah, it's kind of jazzy but poppy and
Yeah.
kind of hip hoppy all in one, and yeah. Anyway, shall we move on?
I think
Yes.
so.
All right. Oh boy, the category from hell as far as reading goes. So the next category is voice acting. So let me update our little screen here on Twitch. Best voice acting from 2022. The nominees were, as I go through here and read a lot of Japanese to you, so I'm gonna do my best. Atsushi Tanezaki of Anya Forger, Spy Family. Pharaoh's Eye, Jolene Kujo, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Hiroshi Tsuchida, Grisha Yeager, Attack on Titan, the final season. Hina Suguta, Marin Kitagawa, Dress Up Darling. Rie Takahashi, Anzu, Romantic Killer. Natsuki Hanae, Vanitas from Vanitas no Kart. Wakayama Shion, Takina from Licorice Recoil. And lastly, Yashino Aoyama, Bochi from Bochi the Rock. And the winner is Yashino Aoyama from Bochi. With 19.9% of the vote. Pretty tight race. Second place went to Hina Suguta Marukitagawa with 17.4%. So pretty narrow result.
Yeah, that's a surprising upset because I think a lot of people would have assumed that Anya would have, Anya would have definitely won.
Are you thrilled, Mason?
Thrilled?
I mean, you love Bocchi.
I mean, I wouldn't say I love Bocchi. I was probably one of the bigger Bocchi fans of the three of us. I think I'm happy with this. I knew he wasn't going to win, but I put in Natsuki Hanai's Vanitas. I think it's such a wide-ranging and electric performance. But I'm fine with Bocchi winning. That's a good call.
Yeah, Bocchi was a very entertaining person to listen to. I think what was I gonna say? Completely forgot. I personally had nominated for Takina from Licorice Recoil. Even though a lot of people were like, why is Takina on here and not Chisato? And to be honest, yeah, consider Chisato. She was a really good voice. But if I had to choose one of the two, for whatever reason, I was pretty attached to Takina's voice. I think she did a really great job, so I had to put her in. And I wasn't expecting her to win, but I am glad that she got quite a few votes. And yeah, I'm surprised that Anya did not win this one.
Well,
Waku Waku.
Maybe people separate. Maybe people are separating the voice from the character. You know,
ideally,
I'm not really sure.
It's tricky though because they're so intricately linked that it's one that really takes a discerning error, and everyone comes into it with a different mindset. So, all good choices though.
All right. Well, I'm reshuffling the order in which we do these awards because I think there was a better way to do it. So, Caroline, would you like to do the next character award?
Sure. So we are at the Best Boy category. We are going to go through some of the best boys of 2022. Now, here are the nominees. We have Boji from Ranking of Kings, Dark Schneider from Bastard. That's a question mark. He's not really a boy. Fudo Aikawa from Love After World Domination, Kongming Zhuge from Ya Boy Kongming, Lloyd Forger from Spy X Family, also not. He's an adult. Okay, I'm just going to stop trying to apply logic to best boys. And finally nominated Shigeo Mob Kageyama from Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. And the winner of your best boy category is Boji from Ranking of Kings.
He's so cute.
He's such a good boy. He got 30.6% of the vote, so it seems like a lot of people agreed he is indeed the best. Second place, runner-up, that would be Mob from Mob Psycho 100 with 21.8% of the vote. Also a pretty decent showing. Glad that he at least got runner-up for the final season. And yeah, what do you guys think?
I think it was a landslide. I mean, he won by 10% almost.
Yeah.
Foregone conclusion. I mean, Boji's just a really memorable, interesting, not cookie cutter character at all, and people are going to remember Boji for a while because he's just not like your typical, he's not your normal bland black-haired protagonist.
Well,
he's not your like meek rom-com boy. He's not your spiky-haired shonen dude. He's just like this unique. He's his own character, kind of like how. Whatever the hell the walrus's name was from Odd Taxi, like
Otokawa.
Otokawa, like everybody remembers Otokawa, and he's super unique, and that's just part of having a great narrative. Bad narratives or like generic narratives produce generic characters, and Ranking of Kings and Odd Taxi both had incredible narratives, and it produces great characters, and I think that was plain as day here.
I am very surprised.
Really well put.
I'm surprised that Lloyd got third place, to be honest, because he's a fun character to watch, I have to say, but to be best boy, I think you need to have something special that really makes you want to go, I love this person with all my
Well,
life.
Lloyd is so bland. That's definitely an anime vote. Like people were voting for the anime, not the character, for sure.
Mm.
Which is probably not unique to him. What do you think, Mason?
Yeah, would be curious to see where Mob stacks up if this was the first season of Mob Psycho 100. I think people have appreciated and loved Mob and have kind of moved on or ready for the next thing.
Mm.
I wonder if this is season 1 of Mob versus season 1 of Ranking. Who wins? That would be quite a duel. But really, these results, big fan of. Big nice. Good job, listeners. You did good.
You
And
made
Kong Ming
Mason
in
happy.
4th place is we're okay with that too.
All right.
He's a good one.
Mason, would you like to announce the best girl?
I would love to, but first I got to read the nominees. We have Anya from Spy Family, Bochi from Bochi the Rock, Chisato from Lycoris Recoil, Eiko Tsukimi from Ya Boy Kongming, Hana Ichijo Awashi, Jolene Kujo JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, Kitagawa Marin My Dress Up Darling, and Magahara Desumi from Love After World Domination. And your best girl for 2022 is Kitagawa Marin from My Dress Up Darling.
She's now a two-time best girl, winning the first ever summer waifu war, and now winning best girl.
I am pleased with this because it has proven that recency bias, while absolutely a thing, is not the end all be all of these award shows, and she has not only won but dominated with nearly 40% of the votes. Slowly, or not even slowly, trumping the second place that was Anya, who is still precious and good, but not quite the same as Marin. So, any surprises here?
I am a little surprised that Marin had such a landslide. I was
Yeah, me
expecting
too.
a little bit more of a battle here. Because Marin is great, but there are so many other good girls on this list. Bochi, Anya. There is a tragic lack of Magahara Desumi fans out there.
She was a good
And
character.
I just want to say, you are missing out on the true best girl, which is Desumi.
Not
This had almost the fewest number of abstains. Not the fewest, but one of the fewest, with only 5 people out of the hundreds that participated. Who's like, nah,
I'm surprised.
nah,
How
I'm
can
not
you
about
not
that.
want to? How can you not be able to vote for best girl?
It's okay. Maybe it was too hard. It was too hard.
I
Maybe
honestly
they have
thought
two best girls on the list and they can't choose.
this category felt a little bit like golf in the 2000s, where it's like Tiger versus the field. This was like Marin versus the field, basically. I mean, she almost equaled everybody else combined, which is a little shocking considering the amount of characters that were available. And I'm really surprised that Anya didn't even break 20%. Considering Anya basically drives Spy Family 100%. I really thought that her the cute factor would have played here, but I guess Marin is just cuter. So
Yeah,
And hotter.
plus Bochi plus Anya equaled Kitagawa. But yeah, Marin is just
Cute,
has more
cute plus
appeal in a
boobs.
lot of different fields.
There aren't too many anime fans that are going to kick Marin out of bed in the morning. I'll put it like that. At least the male fans. So, what do you think of that comment? Did you like that? Like that, Caroline?
She was like, I wouldn't push her out either. What are you talking about?
I sensed.
No, it wasn't jelly bean worthy, to be honest. I know if I need a jelly bean, I know when it's jelly bean worthy.
I think the key is Marin, while attractive in so many ways, is earnestly a good person and wholesome and just checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people. And
I think we've talked about it. I think Marin knows exactly what she's doing. Okay.
I think we can move on.
And we'll see how she fares in the second waifu war, which I think will probably also happen. All right, now we're into the genre awards. So every genre, well, all the ones we decided to include have an award. The first of which is Action, Best Action Adventure. And the nominees are Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War. It's a lot of blood. Chainsaw Man, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Licorice Recoil, Made in Abyss, The Golden City of the Scorching Sun, Mob Psycho 100 Season 3, Ranking of Kings, and Summertime Render. And your winner of Best Action Adventure, a very tightly contested category, is Chainsaw Man. With about 33.8% of the vote. And second place, a distant second place, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, 19.4%. This is the second time Cyberpunk Edge Runner has been the runner-up. So we'll see if that continues. What do you guys think?
These were probably my two favorite shows of the year. I both really enjoyed them. They both had unbelievably high hype between adaptation of a very infamous video game and an adaptation of a very well-beloved manga. I went in knowing that and being like, I've got my doubts, and they both delivered strongly. Actually, if you want to hear more talks about this, Caroline and I recorded like a 45-minute long diatribe on action adventure for the our anime award show that will be released eventually. So if you want to hear all our thoughts about all sorts of action adventure, you can go there. But I'm fine with this. Those were my two favorite shows. They got number 1 and 2 spots. I'm happy. What about you guys?
For me, since it's a combined action adventure category, I wouldn't say it's my favorite action, but definitely my favorite adventure is Ranking of Kings. I do think that it got a little shelved in this category, even though it was just so good. And even if it's more action than adventure, or sorry, more adventure than action, it did have some pretty great action scenes that I feel like are being slept on here, to be honest.
I voted for use more. Sorry, go ahead.
I voted for Chainsaw Man in this category. I'm just looking at my voting here, and I don't know. I just think it had a lot of style. I don't know. It's fine. Chainsaw Man was really good. I don't think it was that unique in the shonen category, but it definitely had a lot of good action in it, and so, that was good enough for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I wanted more adventure shows. I love them. I felt like Made in Abyss and Ranking of Kings were the really only true blue adventure stuff we got. And Made in Abyss, while fine, was not as good as season 1. And
they didn't do much adventuring outside of the one location they were in.
Yeah, and Ranking of Kings did kind of adventure, but it felt like it really didn't go somewhere because it always returned back to the castle at the end. So it was too much of a closed loop. It wasn't a grand, narrative that I think I usually associate with the genre. So I normally want more adventure stuff. I hope we get more next year. I think Vinland Saga in 2023 will be a huge juggernaut to looking forward, but we'll see how it
have they left the forest though? I haven't watched second season yet, so it's not really much of an adventure, is it?
But it might one day. It might.
Vinland Saga is turning into Rurouni Kenshin.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Or Silver Spoon.
It's been Silver Spoon for quite a while. It's not. It's people. We're gonna talk about this, but people are gonna be very confused. It's like. Anyway, okay. Well, what is next?
The best comedy. All right, let's go through some of the nominees here. We have Bocchi the Rock, Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 3, Love After World Domination, My Dress Up Darling, Pop Team Epics Season 2, Romantic Killer, and Ya Boy Kongming. And
Ya boy.
And the winner of the best comedy category is Kaguya-sama Season 3.
It just won't die. Why won't this anime go away?
Because it's good.
Oh, God. It's like the battle of who can be more manipulative. They're both gonna.
It's funny.
I feel bad for both these people's partners.
Okay, so yeah, that got 27.7% of the vote. The runner-up was Bocchi the Rock with 23.5%. So a little bit of a battle there. Me personally, I don't think I would have voted for Kaguya-sama season 3. It's great, it's funny, but I do think there were better showings of comedy shows other than Kaguya-sama in this year.
Yeah, it's one of those measures of, are you voting for the best show within the genre?
Mm,
Or are you voting for the best comedy of the shows, kind of irregardless? Because I think of all the seasons of Kaguya, this is easily the weakest. This is, focused more on the rom side of things than the com. And while, yeah, it had its moments and fantastic beats from the rap episode to all the
yeah, that was good.
happenings at the very end, while solid, never really got to me that, like, the Game of Life did in season 2 or some of the moments in season 1. Like, it just
Hmm.
was a good show that wasn't really funny for me. And I thought it was probably one of my least favorite seasons because of that, despite all its strong points.
Yeah, I did, of course, like Kaguya-sama, but I agree that I do think the prior seasons were stronger on the comedy because this most recent season was more focused on the progression of the story, which is not a bad thing. It's
Yeah, I'm
just,
fine with that.
yeah. Um, Personally, I laughed again way, way, way too hard at Love After World Domination more than the other nominees. I think it was so funny. So again, I'm a little peeved that it didn't get a lot of votes, but I understand why because there were so many popular shows in this category.
I'm not a big comedy fan, so I'm probably not the. At least I'm not a big anime comedy fan, and it never really lands with me. So I'm probably not a very good judge in this category, but I probably would have given it to Kong Ming.
Yeah, that was also a good pick.
He just looks so suave with his headphones. I don't know.
He
It's
does.
very
And
strange.
his star sunglasses.
Yeah, I mean, come on. He's,
If
he's
we
he,
had half the style that he did, we'd be in a much better place in life.
We would.
yeah. I'm lame as shit compared to ya boy, Zhugan Leon. All right,
Next
best
up, we have
drama.
just that. And the nominees for Best Drama / Slice of Life. We have Akebi's Sailor Uniform, Call of the Night, Do It Yourself, Komi Can't Communicate Season 2, My Dress Up Darling, Sasaki and Miyano, and Spy Family. And your winner for the Best Drama / Slice of Life of 2022 is My Dress Up Darling. You can just assume from now on, if I'm announcing a winner, it's going to be My Dress Up Darling, because that's all I have to offer. No, second place, with a respectable 8% gap between it, was Spy Family, which, fair. I think my favorite would have gone to Call of the Night, which got third place. I think people were going in expecting vampire action, and it wasn't that, but I was okay. I think it nailed the moments of discussion and banter really well, and that was my personal favorite, but I'm not upset with any of these other ones winning. They were all pretty alright.
Me personally, I think I would have gone probably Spy X Family. Because even if people will say like, oh, it's overhyped and it's not all that exciting, it is for a slice of life really fun. And just I enjoy the scenes of Anya going to school and all the stupid stuff they get up to there. Even though people might not like it all that much. But for a slice of life, I think that's really enjoyable.
I'm not sure what I voted for here. Again, I don't feel like I feel like a lot of these weren't especially good dramas. I didn't think the field wasn't that impressive, but I probably picked My Dress Up Darling, honestly. So that's the name of the game, people.
Mm.
Mara Kitagawa, too strong. Too many
Too strong.
too many breastises. He just can't you can't overcome it, so. Oh boy. All right.
Well, now you can finally talk about something you love, you adore more than anything else.
Yeah. Fantasy, isekai. It probably is one of my favorite genres, and I feel like it's probably one of the biggest genres right now. Which is why isekai has completely taken over anime. I wonder how much longer that can keep up though, because they're blowing through all creative capacity. It's such an unbelievable clip that you can only have so many seasons with 10 isekai before you just like burned out as shit. So I feel like it's not gonna last, but we'll have to see. But very competitive category nonetheless. The nominees for Best Fantasy Isekai Anime are Bastard, Made in Abyss, the Golden City of the Scorching Sun, Overlord Season 4, Parallel World Pharmacy, Princess Connect Redive Season 2, Ranking of Kings, and ya boy, Kong Ming. You nominated for a lot of things, Kong Ming, but not really winning. And your winner,
Yeah.
your winner is Ranking of Kings. 29.1% of the vote going to Ranking of Kings. Second place, Made in Abyss with 17%. An easy win for Ranking of Kings. In definitely you would put that more in the fantasy category as opposed to the isekai. I'm not sure how many isekais there actually were in here. Maybe a few. Maybe 2.
We got
3?
Overlord, Parallel World.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure about Princess Connect because I have not seen that.
I don't know what the hell
And
that
ya boy.
is. Is that even a
Yeah, I
good
don't know
anime?
either.
How
You
did
got
that
at
get in
least
here?
3 on there.
Princess Connect. Did you watch that, Mason?
I didn't, but it's a pretty sharp looking show from what I've seen in like
Yeah.
highlights and Sakuga
Yeah.
blogs. It's
The
pretty
reviews
pretty.
are pretty good, so I guess, yeah.
I think a lot of the isekai shows probably just cannibalize one another in terms of nothing rising to the top of the pile, all being all kind of solid in that mid level and nothing being a favorite. And interesting and showing that the two that got the top were the most stylistically distinct fantasy shows between Rankings and Made in Abyss. Both of those are like no other show we normally get, and it made it rise to the top.
I'm so happy that Ranking of Kings got something in
Yeah.
the genre category.
Yeah.
If I couldn't get adventure, then at the very I even think fantasy is a better fit for what it should have won, because it is such a really cool world that they have set up, and very unique compared to other anime worlds that have come out. So I am happy with that.
Out of the 7 anime here, only 2 of them are isekai: Overlord and Parallel World Pharmacy. Princess Connect, I do not think, according to my anime list, is not an isekai. But
I don't know. I
No,
thought,
it
I thought
would
that
be a
yeah boy
fantasy.
would sort of count because he's being transported to the future. But I don't know.
it's the same
yeah.
world.
I guess.
Listen, we don't make
I
the
don't know.
list. We
Who
only make a
knows?
part of the list.
Who knows? All right. Well, I'm happy to. Ranking of Kings is too good to walk away with nothing. So, well, it's really has 2 awards now. So, all right. Because Best Boy is a good, like Best Boy or Best Girl, that's a good award too. I mean, being the
Yeah.
best character of the whole year is like pretty tough to do, considering there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 characters a year, which is like ridiculous. All right. Next.
All right. Well, next category, Best Sports. So the nominees for Best Sports are Aoashi, Birdie Wing, Love All Play, and Rieman's Club. You can tell which one I nominated. And for the category with the largest portion abstained votes so far in this award show, the winner of the Best Sports category is Aoashi.
Not a lot. Go ahead.
For a
What was
category
wrong?
with only 4 options.
Yeah.
And Love All Play did not get a single vote.
Yeah, and Birdie Wing got second. I don't. Not a strong year for sports.
No.
No, definitely not.
You could make the case that they shouldn't even be a category anymore. Honestly, like we took the mecha category out because there's no mecha. And if we have another year next year, like with only a few, we'll probably take sports out and put something different in because it's not a very. It was like a foregone conclusion. I mean, Awashi was pretty much the only. I don't know. It was the most sports anime that there was to pick from.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, for such a small small voting pool, it still probably would have won the category, even if there were a few more options in there. Because it was a pretty decent sports show. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was really good. Aoshi, I can't wait for more of it. You know, this was one of my favorite shows of the year. I'm a big sports fan, of course. I think it's way better than Blue Lock. It's not even particularly close.
And for
But
people who are asking, why isn't Blue Lock on there? It didn't finish in
yeah, it's not over yet.
2022. So
Yeah.
sorry.
It'll be there next year, probably.
If we still have a sports category, that is.
Yeah. Well, we're getting MF Ghosts coming out next year.
We'll have MF Ghost, we'll have Blue Lock, we'll have Tsurune.
I think it's probably going to be a better year for sports, honestly. But do you have any comments, Mason, that you want to make?
Yeah, it was just a weak category of the ones
Yeah.
there. Awashi definitely was probably one of the best ones. So
Gotta say, still
even though
love Demon
I
Slayer.
did not like the show, it definitely deserved to win from this field.
All right, what's next?
Next up, we have my pride and joy best film, and there's probably no way I'm going to be disappointed with these results. Your nominees for best film, we have Bubble, The Deer King, Dragon Ball Superhero, The Girl from the Other Side, Inuo, One Piece Film Red, and Quintessential Quintuplets, which Caroline just did Unexplored Pictures of last week. You should check it out.
She gives the thumbs up.
And your winner for best film is One Piece Film Red.
新時代はこの未来だ世界中全部変えてしまえば
As I fish out all my jelly beans for the many, many films I have not seen.
One Piece Film Red just barely eking out over Dragon Ball Superhero. So really, every vote counts on this thing because it could have gone either way with a couple people going one way or another. But man, do I hate all of you.
I mean,
Man,
it's pretty. I'm honestly kind of surprised that Dragon Ball Superhero even got 12% because that movie wasn't especially good. So,
no.
I don't know. It's like I would definitely rather watch 10 boobs, which is what quintessential quintuple. Oh, come on. The cover art for the movie, Caroline, is all of them in like bikinis. It's
Sure, but
it's.
I
come
only
on.
make that face. I only make that face because we know you would rather watch 10 boobs over anything.
Not Dragon Ball. I love Dragon
Just
Ball,
think,
but the
10
movie
boobs,
wasn't good.
That's a bigger number than One Piece. Bigger number is better.
But yeah, I mean, I probably abstained honestly because I didn't watch. I only watched one of these. So
Same.
Bubble, I like Bubble's art. Mason,
The
what
fact
did you
that
want to win?
Bubble won over Inuo is a travesty. But I mean,
Mason,
as
take it away.
we
This
said-
is your category.
As we
We have
said,
nothing
with
to say.
43% almost of people abstaining, yeah, people just don't watch movies, which is why I try to do the segment to be like, there's good movies out there, and just like shaking the audience, be like, watch it, watch it. But it's hard. It's hard to get people to sit down when they're busy, when they got a lot going on for an hour and a half of just Kino, that is Inuo, which was by far a experience. I get it, it's not for everyone, but man, there were so many good experimental stuff, so many good things that pushed animation to the limits of what we've seen that are gratifying that you only get with a production of a movie. I'm sure One Piece Film Red and Dragon Ball have a lot of fans. It's a popularity game. They went out, they saw it. Hey, good for them. But I just want people to watch movies. I think people should see good stuff. And but hey, that's okay. It's a losing fight, but I'm gonna fight. Damn it.
If you want my opinion, this is the biggest loser category in the award show, but it's not one you can really remove because there's always films.
No, yeah.
But like I understand why the sports category has so many abstains because there's only like 3 choices, right? I think there was actually 4. But this category has like a huge list of options. So the fact that almost half of people still abstain from voting just means that, like, you're right, people really aren't watching movies.
And it's tough because a lot of movies come out either only in theaters or for a limited time, or you have to pay to see it. And like, oh, does a movie count in 2022 versus 2023 with weird releases? And like, I get that there's more of a hurdle. You can't just wake up and turn it on and have it on in the background. But there's some of the best this medium has to offer is through films. And I think if you really want to dive into those keynote moments, films are sometimes where you got to go. So that's okay. That's okay. People don't watch films. It's how it be.
You've
Well,
let
other
Mason
than
down.
what should people watch? Top 3 from this list. What should people watch?
From this list,
Yeah.
I mean, Inuo is fantastic. That's probably one of my favorites of the year. The Deer King is visually really great. If you like that Ghibli vibes, it captures a lot of it. It's a little messy with some of the writing. I did a whole unexplored pictures on it, but check it out. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if I'd strongly recommend anything else.
And there you have it.
I mean, Bubble's there, but it's not. It's not good. It's just visually kind of all right sometimes. It has parkour. I guess that's a thing, but I can't vouch for it. I can't recommend it.
All right, next up is Best Studio. So lots of options here to pick from. Best Studio, most of your favorites are here. Studio Bones, Studio Cloverworks, Mappa, PA Works, Science Saru, what did Science Saru do last year?
I don't know. I just had to nominate something, so I did.
I know Mason loves Science Saru. Trigger.
Yeah.
UFO Table, Wit Studio. And the winner of Best Studio, I don't even have any music for this, is, of course, obviously, probably for like the third year in a row, Studio Mappa. Overwhelmingly won with 43% of the vote, probably because of Chainsaw Man, and the runner-up was Cloverworks with 16.5%. So landslide. But yeah, I mean,
They also had Attack on Titan this year too.
oh yeah, and Attack on Titan working their staff to death. That's Studio Mappa. I don't know who won last year, but it was probably Mappa again.
They do a lot of shit. They do a lot of good shit.
I can actually check on that if you guys want. But what do you guys think?
Yeah.
I wish I should pull up a list of everything that they did last year too. So let me do that.
I voted for Cloverworks. That was my pick. Between Bochi, between doing part of Spy Family, a Kebi Sailor Uniform, My Dress Up Darling, and a ton of others. They loaded up and delivered a ton of really good stuff. And I just love their visual design. I like their outlines, their color palette, just a lot of ways that they add just a nice bloom. I just love their effects. It's just well produced, well put together. I like Studio Cloverworks a lot. Science Saru is a fantastic studio, but they didn't do much. They did the abysmally disappointing Eric Deco. They did the fantastic Tatami Time Machine Blues, but that was only 6 episodes. So, not enough for me to be like, yeah, they really put out a ton of phenomenal stuff like they've done in years past. So, but yeah, I mean, no surprise. Of course, it's going to be Mappa.
Yeah, I think it's a fair win there.
So we've been doing the Best Studio category for a while. Last year, Mappa won with 36.9%. And in 2020, Mappa also won with 49.4%. So this is the third year in a row Mappa has won. And then way back in 2019, Wit Studio won. And Mappa was barely even like a twinkle in 2019.
I mean, that's what happens when Mappa takes over Attack on Titan from Studio Wit and also lands some of the biggest shows from Chainsaw Man to Dorohedoro to Attack on Titan to everything. They've just been picking really good properties, and good shows make people like that studio. It's that simple.
Yeah. All right. Well, getting down to the end here.
Let's get to the worst anime of 2022 award, otherwise known as the Pooper Scooper.
Yes.
And the nominees are Black Summoner, Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2, Futsal Boys, The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of
Jesus.
Debt, In the Land of Leodale, Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer, Platinum End, and Skeleton Knight in Another World. And the winner of the Pooper Scooper Award is Platinum End.
What the hell is Futsal Boys, and why?
Apparently, it's terrible.
God.
I think I don't know anything about it, but from what I've heard, it would have won this category if people watched it.
Isn't futsal like soccer on like racquetball courts, basically, or on tennis
Sort of.
courts?
It's a
I
smaller
don't know.
field. It's more like a handball-sized court.
I don't know. Anything with the word "boys" in the title just makes me kind of wince, because you just know that it's gonna be like some show like Free, where everybody's like just beautiful, and it's meant to basically just have people like drooling over anime boys.
Isn't that what bodybuilding is about, though? You like bodybuilding. Beautiful boys.
Uh,
Yeah, but the show isn't called Bara Boys. It's called Muscles.
I don't think that bodybuilding is really considered attractive. Like, I think most of these guys are just like frightening at this point. If I had to pick the worst one in this category, the one that hurt me the most, it would probably be Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2. I mean, that anime sucked so bad.
I would have to agree. I think
Oh my
actually,
God.
I can't remember for certain if I was the one that suggested Platinum End or not. And yes, it was a little bit poopy. But Devil's a Part-Timer sure was a pooper scooper for sure.
I think
God.
so Platinum End was 20.8%. Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2 was 19.8. So they were
It was close.
a couple votes against.
Yes,
And I think,
3 votes in between those two.
while
to
I
be
think
exact.
neither are the worst show, like straight out absolutely the worst show I've seen, they both have a secret sauce that makes them so bad. And that is expectations. Platinum End, coming from the people that wrote Death Note, it has promise. Devil's a Part-Timer, coming from a surprisingly good Season 1. Finally coming back after all these years. They
10
both came
years!
with
10
promise.
years!
And they dropped it so hard, which makes it so disappointing. And also probably garnered more interest going into it. Like, no one watched Futsal Boys because no one had a reason to watch it. But a lot of people checked out Platinum End. A lot of people checked out Devil's a Part-Timer and then felt the crushing disappointment.
Really, this is the most disappointment award.
Which is why third place at 14% is Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Well-beloved manga. A lot of people like that style. And it was a terrible adaptation on production levels more than just like Platinum Ends. But just a bunch of really cruddy shows.
Yeah, definitely this has an element of the disappointment factor. In terms of things that I was not necessarily disappointed by, but I hated watching. In the Land of Leodale was so frustrating to watch. It was so boring. I hated everyone in that show. I hated everyone in that show. But nothing can hold a candle to freaking Black Summoner. Because I hated the characters even more.
Like I said, bad narratives have bad characters. Bad narratives have bad characters, and that's most of these shows have. Although Leodale, I don't really think deserves to be in this category. I mean, it's not good.
It was bad.
But it's very, I'd say to me, it was very, it was somewhere in the average range. Like, no, there's no reason to watch it, but it didn't make my eyeballs want to melt. So.
I think it was worse because it failed to deliver what it was trying to do. It was trying to go for this funny, haha, goofy, like rolling comedy, and it was not that in the slightest. At least like Platinum
What
End,
I got was a woman who abuses her children.
Yeah, exactly. Platinum End at least kind of knew what it was going for and was aiming at the target, even if it missed completely. The other thing that made Platinum End insufferable was that it was a 2-core show. It was 24 episodes. which meant we had to
Oh, you're
slog
so
through
right.
episode after and
God.
That added to it.
oh my goodness, that also weighed heavy on the crown. So I'm okay with this.
All
I
right.
do love this category, though.
Man, is it bad? And if you like this category, can I interest you in our topic next week? Which
The
I
anime?
believe will be the anime Razzies, where we go
Yes!
all in on
The worst
of
of
the worst.
everything!
So if you have any not genres, if you want any categories for us to make our list to, submit them in the Discord, and we will let you know who our worst boy, worst girl, and all the other worst of the worst is. So
I mean,
that's
it's not
always
going to
a fun
have
one.
like the preparation of this where we have
No,
everyone
you're not
vote
getting a
on
bow
it.
tie.
We are just going to decide.
Yeah.
All right.
Are
The
we
time
ready?
has come.
We
Mason.
have arrived at the main event. The time to honor the best show of 2022. Here are your nominees. Aoashi, Attack on Titan, the final season, part 2. Bocchi the Rock, Chainsaw Man, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Stone Ocean, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Season 3, Ranking of Kings, and Spy Family. And your winner for the best anime of 2022 is Chainsaw Man. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. That was a pretty good show. I really enjoyed it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it was definitely a good show. I can understand why it won. Although I do feel like it has gotten a little too many awards. That's the main reason. I know. I know it's not really a good justifiable reason, but
I picked Ranking of Kings.
Mhm.
Now I will say that I was following the results of these polls pretty closely as they were happening, and Cyberpunk Edge Runners was was winning this poll for probably 75% of the duration.
Wow.
It wasn't until maybe the second time I blasted it on the Discord that Chainsaw Man took over. So I would say, for the most part, I thought Cyberpunk was going to win, and I know it didn't end up like as close as it appeared to be, but it was definitely leading at the beginning. And I mean, it's Cyberpunk won nothing, but
Yeah, it's
You have a
sad.
lot of second places and a lot of second places to Chainsaw Man,
yep.
which is a shame because while I do think Chainsaw Man was better in some ways, I think I would have given this to Cyberpunk Edge Runner, which ended up getting the second place award. But I think having a conclusion, having an endpoint, having a nice bow to David's story that was very gratifying, if not maybe happy, but gratifying, I think it had a lot more emotional weight where it needed to and just was crisp and had that style. But like I said, well, it was a weak year in some ways. I think these were my two favorite shows. I'm glad they did so well, and I'm glad that people liked it. But overall, a pretty even spread if you look at the percentages. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
25% for Chainsaw Man's a lot, but we had a 16%, we had a 14%, we had a 10, 11. Like, there was a lot that had a good run.
Yeah, I do wish that I think Ranking of Kings should have been best of. It had so much going for it that I think for me, the substance of Ranking of Kings should have overtook the just bombasticness of Chainsaw Man. Not to say Chainsaw Man isn't good. I just feel like Ranking of Kings had something, special and substantial that I think should have put it over the top, even though it was far, far down
Yeah.
in the rankings here.
I feel like this is a good example of, I don't want to make any accusations.
Do it.
Oh boy, here we
I feel
go.
like this is a great example of, it's an illustration of the animation being taken as precedent over the narrative. it's pretty clear that out of all these, Chainsaw Man and Cyberpunk were probably amongst the top two in terms of how they looked, and an anime like Boji was not. In fact, Boji has more of like a cartoonish, goofy art style, but has an incredibly strong narrative and just didn't get the recognition for it. And I feel like people are watching anime because it looks shiny and pretty, and not because it has even 5 brain cells in it. I don't think so. I don't think Chainsaw Man has a strong narrative at all. Actually, I don't really find it to be all that compelling compared to a show like Ranking of Kings. It looks better. It's more. Kinetic. It has a lot more draws
Boobs.
from the way it looks, and so does Cyberpunk Edge Runners. But in the end, it seems like the animation is king over the story. So that's just my opinion, but I seem to see it again and again. So I don't know how you guys feel if we think that has any validity, but I said it again.
I don't think you're wrong 100%. I think there is some granules of truth. I think Ranking of Kings in the second half didn't deliver the satisfying narrative that I wanted from the first. I think it kind of left off in a weird spot, and I think while it was long ago, it didn't stick with me as much as its initial push. But I think that show looked phenomenal. To call that show anything less than a visual masterpiece is a little not giving it credit. But I don't know. I think it shows the power of discussion and hive mind, and just when people are excited about a show, other people get excited about a show, and that the community can influence your perceptions on a show as much as anything else. And I think the communities also get a lot more people to watch a show. And I think at the end of the day, numbers are what win these things more than quality a lot of times. But I think these are all quality picks. So
Yeah.
I'm not upset. And not that there's anything to be upset, but really, I think the point of this is if you haven't checked out one of these shows and you've been meaning or hadn't heard of it, uh, give it a run, because all of these have some value and merit, and people love them, and they all deserve your attention if you want.
Yeah. And I'm surprised Bochi didn't win anything, did it? Bochi the
Uh,
Rock?
Voice
it
acting.
should it should have won
Oh,
comedy. It should
yeah,
have
yeah.
won best
So
animation,
Bochi won
but
voice acting. And yeah, like just to go back a little bit, Bochi did have like a really great voice for the role. She did a lot of cool stuff for it. Um, I think it could have possibly won something more uh credible to the anime as a whole, other than just the one voice actress. Because it was a really good show. So I am glad that it's up in third place in this category, at least.
yeah, but a lot of fall and end of year stuff. I mean, Cyberpunk,
Mm.
I guess technically was before that, but it came out as a word drop in like September. So I don't want to give Summer any credit.
All right.
Yeah, but let's look at these stats. The top three, what were they? Chainsaw Man, yep. Bochi the Rock, yep. Cyberpunk. Oh, those are all the shows I picked. I'm the king. I'm the winner.
Oh,
I
well,
win
well.
2022. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Just a numbers game. Uh, any thoughts? Anything else before we wrap this episode up and get into the real juicy discussion in the after show?
I think I've said everything I wanted to.
I was somewhat pleased. I mean, I think Chainsaw Man won in the Reddit awards too. We're not really going to count the Crunchyroll awards because they're diggity dog shit, I guess. I mean, did they even have Chainsaw Man in there?
No, it's a fall
Give me a
show.
fucking
They
break.
excluded
It's a
all
joke.
fall shows.
They excluded the best season of the year. Okay. Genius big brain move right there by the overlords over at Crunchyroll at Sony. So, but all in all, pretty happy. I don't think Chainsaw Man was the best anime of the year, but I think that it was perfectly fine, and I'm not upset that it won. So,
Yeah. It certainly deserves to be high up there at least.
all right,
So I guess that's our show.
all right, play us out. Give them the hook. Thank you for tuning in to the 13th Annual Anime Oscars. And thank you to all the podcasts that nominated and all of the listeners that voted. We appreciate you. And we will see you next week on the podcast. So take care. Goodbye. Don't forget to tip your waitress.